Thank you. First, I'd like to thank you for holding the monkey. I appreciate that.
Anytime I can hold your monkey, that makes me happy.
I'll give you my email later if you want. My two personal favorite books, Fugitives and Refugees and Stranger Than Fiction, probably because they're more memoirs. Do you have anything else like that in the works right now? Personal memoirs, maybe when you were younger. I'd like to see more of that if you had anything in the books.
You just keep hoping. No way. You know, my dream is to have a fantastically interesting, messed up life. And that will be if some biographer someday, long after I'm dead, wants to track down all the weird details of that, it's going to be an Easter egg hunt. It's going to be so much fun, but I'm not doing it.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Yeah, you know, Lucian.
Are you tired of Fight Club?
Am I tired of Fight Club? It used to be, when I was working at Freightliner, at the end of every month, I hated to open those bills, because as I paid each bill, my checking account would just go pretty much to zero. And by the time the bills were paid, I had no money left in the bank. And now, it's like, sure, I'll take HBO. You sign me up for all those premium channels. And Fight Club is a little cash cow that just keeps giving milk, so no.
Woo!
Hi. How did you go about getting your first piece published?
How did I go getting my first piece published? You know, it kind of depends on what you mean by first piece, because I had a couple things published in really pulpy magazines that were very short-lived. And it's hard to think of those as first pieces. But I submitted a short story that was basically chapter 6 from Fight Club. I submitted that to a literary anthology. And they paid $50 for it. And I was so happy. I was just over the moon to get that $50 check in the mail. And that's really how it worked. But I started writing in Tom Spanbauer's workshop. We would meet every Thursday around his kitchen table in Portland. And this is another thing that kind of shaped how I write, or what I write, is that Tom came from, he studied at Columbia with a man named Gordon Lish, who is credited with a minimalism style. He was Raymond Carver's editor. And Tom also was involved in a lot of sort of improv theater. And Tom said that performing or reading your work out loud was incredibly important. So in our workshop, we continue. Every Thursday, people have to read their work out loud, because you find out right away where the laughs are, where the groans are, and also where it starts to lose energy and fall down. And Tom would sadistically book us these public readings, where as students we would have to read our heartfelt, you know, that early work about my puppy dying beneath the wheels of a truck. That stuff that you read and you're all verklempt, you're shaking, tears are rolling down your face. We would have to read those in pool halls and sports bars. And people did give a shit, and there was always some noisy pinball machine. And right away I got that if I was going to earn the audience's attention, if I was going to establish my authority in the first few sentences, what I wrote about was going to have to get there fast. And it was going to have to be funny on the front end. And it was going to have to be kind of heartbreaking and torturous at the moment, right after the moment it was funniest. It had to be the most heartbreaking. And that was Tom's rule. He said, you have 7 minutes to make them laugh and to break their heart. The end. And so it was in Tom's workshop that I wrote that Fight Club story and performed it. And then eventually Tom asked me to send my work to his agent in New York, and that's how my career got started. So, at this point, I am sorry, I guess we only have so much time to take the questions. But do we have, a couple more minutes? A couple more questions?